Welcome, everyone. Welcome into this week's Fire Signs live readings for the week of October 23rd through October 29th of 2022. So today, together with tarot and astrology, we're going to find some spiritual guidance for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Guys, don't forget I will use timestamps. So if you come in to watch the replay, thank you so much for watching my video. Just make sure to click in the description box and you can scroll down to Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, and it will take you where you want to go. I see everyone coming in. Hi, everyone. Rachel, Diana, Sandra. Let me know, ladies, is the sound okay? Are we done with Mercury retrograde? Because I had no issues getting the live started today. It was so peaceful, so nice. I am so appreciative. Let me know, guys. Mary the Aries. I freaking love it. All right. So Mary says sound is good. Thank you so much, Mary. All right. Thank you, Sandra. All right. So we have announcements. We do have a little bit of astrology. And then we're going to get to the readings, guys. So I do want to jump in. I know I talk fast, guys, but it's always because there's so much to talk about. And again, today there is so much to talk about. Yes, a new retrograde is coming. Absolutely. Okay, so first I just want to say thank you to everyone who sent me gifts and cards and well wishes this week. I came home to a room full of presents. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. As you can see, I've tried to cram everything onto the table. And we're going to use some of it today. So, yes, guys, Sandra sent me some beautiful cards, the Divine Feminine, which we're going to use today for guidance. My son Samuel actually stopped and met us at Hamfest this weekend. And he purchased me this very beautiful purple deck of tarot cards. We're going to use those today. Miss Al really got me some Halloween cards, which I'm super excited to use. Miss Al is here. I'm so glad. So Hocus Pocus, guys, and The Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, these cards are so beautiful. I cannot wait till we use them. I'm gonna tell you in a little bit when we're going to use them. And then she also got me this Florida water. Do you guys see this? Florida water cologne. Miss L, I put this out on the table because I was going to ask you, what is Florida water cologne? I need you to let me know so I can decide whether I'm going to open this or not because I'm from Florida, guys. I don't know if you know that, Miami, Florida. So that was really significant to me when I opened it. I was like, wow. So yes, and much more pretty things that you see on the table. I really tried to put it all together. I'm really trying to get through this without crying. I'm not gonna make it. I already know. But yes, guys, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, totally made my entire weekend. I loved coming home to all the presents. Junior sat down, we opened them, went through everything together. It was super beautiful. Miss L always sends me chocolates, and me and Junior really like the chocolates. So I shared Miss L. So yes, thank you guys so very, very much. Um, so we're gonna try to incorporate all this stuff in this week because I really feel like we're all really experiencing a lot of synchronicities right now because we're where we're supposed to be, right? And we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So when that happens, we get a lot of signs from all different places where spirit's trying to show us just keep doing it because this is helping, right? So one of the things was Sandra wrote me this beautiful note which I asked her if I could read, but I'm actually not going to read it because it's super personal and beautiful. I just want to say thank you, Sandra. But she also sent me this quote. It's a twin flame quote. So, again, very significant for my journey. And I'd really like to share that with you guys and read it. And I swear I'm not going to cry, okay? All right. So we all know what we're doing here, right? If you can't tell by like all the hearts and stuff and you're still lost, then I don't know. I'm sorry. But we are definitely a very love-based channel, right? That's my whole business is focused on love, the heart chakra, and the twin journey. So she sent me this quote on this paper, which I think the paper itself that she chose was just miraculous. But I did ask her if I could read it. Hi, Charity. So I would really like to read it because I thought this was the absolute best definition of a twin flame that I had ever heard. And people are always asking me, Rosa, what are you doing on YouTube? What is a twin flame? And I have to go through this whole explanation and it's like they just look at me like I'm crazy, right? And it's like, I know it's happened to you guys, right? Because that's how come we all get along and how come we have such a strong collective tribe is because we all were those people that it had just happened to us, right? And no one around us like would know what we were talking about. So that's why we're so close and like we talk to each other even outside of, YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and all that stuff, right? Outside of all that. So yes, I'm gonna read it to you guys, and then we'll jump um to the astrology before we get to the readings. And also Diana, I want to mention Diana. I took them with me, the angels and ancestors. I used them all weekend. Another significant thing in my journey where spirit's like, here you go. Right? All right, so here we go, guys. Here's the quote that Sandra sent me that I thought was the perfect explanation of what we're doing here. So, a twin flame connection is ultimately about self love. They stir up your shadows, deepest fears, and worst addictions. They see into your darkness without judgment, all in order to break open your heart so new light can get in. A twin is not a soulmate, but in fact a mirror. When you heal, they simultaneously heal. This is one sign of a true twin flame connection. Elizabeth Gilbert. So I had to look up like who is Elizabeth Gilbert, right? Eat, Pray, Love. So now I know I'm definitely gonna watch that movie again. And now like I need the book, right? But yeah, so I was really surprised at, I mean, it's just the perfect definition of what we're all doing here. And I love the paper that she chose. Look at this, guys. She puts on the paper she chose says, "Do you, be you, for you." Again, couldn't be any more perfect. So I made it through, Sandra. I didn't cry. Thank you so very, very much. All right, guys. So what is Florida water? Miss Owl. I gotta come back and look. I got the goosebumps too. It was so emotional. Yes, it did jump at you. The twin stuff is always going to jump at us, guys. That's why I say, like, when we try to cut cords and run and hide and sweep shit, I mean, stuff. Ooh, I said a bad word. I didn't mean to. But sweep stuff under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't help. And when we ignore things and block things, we're really just giving it more power. And we're allowing it to really drag us down into a deeper hole. Once we realize like what our purpose is and what we're doing here, that's when you see people, starting twin flame channels and starting businesses and talking about it. They're making twin flame songs now, guys. Like I'm just saying, like it's clearly a thing. It's becoming more open. Because the astrology has everyone on the whole planet really focused on their spirituality. That's why, oh, Decca on Twitch, hello. But that's why everyone's awakening, right? In masses. And so it's like it's happening to everyone. And does that mean that everyone has a twin flame? Absolutely not, guys. That's why they have collective tribes. And you'll see that with other twin flame readers. In there, not everyone reads tarot. Some people just have like podcasts and just different ways of sharing the information because that's our job, right? That's our purpose. The whole reason that we chose this journey is so that we could teach others unconditional love by example. And that's literally what we're doing. It's so interesting because these are my cards that I pulled today to get ready for the live. You know how I always say I always pull myself some cards first. So from Diana's Angels and Ancestors, I got the Trader card. It says exchange energy to create abundance. Well, that's what I do, right? So I come out here, I give you this information that I've studied and I've learned, and I try to help you be able to get through your difficulties in your journey, right? I got the Devil card over here with the tarot cards that Samuel bought me. That's my middle son, guys, Samuel. Um, and the devil is definitely about breaking away from toxicity. But for me, the devil represents a strong Capricorn energy in my own personal journey. And the divine feminine cards, here it is, Sandra. The ones that Sandra gave me, I got the My Bago, the warrior saint. It says, I'm a warrior of love. My devotion attracts resources and support. I mean, how freaking awesome, right? And then, wouldn't you know it, when I pulled out the Moonology, I got the North Node and it says, step out of your comfort zone. So that's what we're doing every single day, right? So yes, lots of confirmation from spirit this weekend. I definitely feel like we've all collectively, if you're following me, if you hear me, right, if you understand, and what I say pulls at your heartstrings, we're definitely in this tribe together. And I feel like we've come out of some massive darkness, some massive awakening. We've definitely timeline jumped. We've implemented our tools. We're doing the things, right? Exactly. Sandra says no coincidence. I do not believe in coincidence, guys. There's just really, spirit proves it to me every single day. There's just no such thing. Look at Mary, the Aries in here. I mean, come on. I have Aries all in my chart, right? I actually did a reading for a young lady in Malaysia over at the end of last week. I didn't work this weekend at all, guys. I took the full 3 days off. It was really, really hard for me. The brain was still going, but the rest of it was okay. But I did this reading for this lady in Malaysia. And you know how I always say when you guys get the personal readings through the Etsy shop, I always compare, I look at birthdays, names, locations, and most of the time they compare to my own journey, right? They coincide with my own journey. And that's how I know there's no such thing as a coincidence. There's all these people in the world, there's all these people selling readings on Etsy. And they chose me. They were drawn to me. And they have the same birthday as I do, or they have the same birthday as my twin, or they have the same name. My twin has a really common name. So it's everywhere all the time, right? Or they have Junior's name, right? People think Junior's name is Junior. His name's William, guys. Anita Reyes on Facebook. Hello. Um, but you see what I'm saying? It always coincides. Well, when I seen her stuff from Malaysia, I was like, I don't know if that's a twin. Like the birthdays were really close together, and we all know that there's usually an age gap in twin journeys, you know. So I was looking for all the stereotype of, signs. And then I realized, like, I need to do the reading. Like spirit's gonna tell me. I don't need to, you know what I'm saying? And of course the very first card that came out was the High Priestess. So it was super, easy to see that they were clearly on a twin journey, right? But yeah, it's like the synchronicities, the things that happen all the time. It's definitely a sign. It's definitely spirit, right? Mary the Aries says, I have a junior, but it's her son. I love explaining to people who my junior is. Miss L, I'm trying to scroll up and find out what Florida water is. Because I know you probably told us. Look at this one. She says, see why you caught my energy in that one reading when you were fidgeting that day with your hands. Look at all the gifts on your desk. So true. And you know what I was fidgeting with, guys? I started I call it the puffer, and I started vaping and I quit smoking, guys. And I'm an Aries, remember that. So Aries all in my chart everywhere. And we're just hard people. I mean, I apologize for all the Aries out there. But it's like we're just really hard on other people and we're really hard on ourselves. It just as much like if you see an Aries that's hard on someone else, they're like harder on themselves by like 1,000. So, you know what I mean? We make like good drill sergeants. But I started vaping and I quit smoking and I got frustrated with myself because I kept finding it in my hand and I kept catching myself playing with it. And I was, of course, puffing on it. I have went down in nicotine. I started at 36 and I'm down to 25, so that's pretty significant for me. I've been smoking since I was 11 years old, guys. I just looked up on YouTube. There's 11 people in here. That's not a coincidence, you see. But anyway, so I got really like hard on myself. We got to stop doing that, guys. I quit smoking. This is my new favorite gadget. I don't care what I call it or what it is. I definitely got the kind where it's the pure stuff, so you can like you know what the ingredients are, and you can refill it, charge it, all that stuff. But if you're trying to quit smoking, guys, I mean, I'm seriously, they're not telling me to say it. I'm just saying like these things are amazing. And I quit smoking after like 30 something years, so no joke. But yeah, so I was definitely fidgeting that day, Miss Owl. Definitely. I'm still not seeing what Florida water is. Pat is awesome on Twitch. Pat is awesome. That's my oldest son, guys. Don't forget, we are on Facebook, we're on YouTube and Twitch all at the same time. I want to talk about that really quickly because everyone knows if you're really close to me, if you follow me, if you're in my soul tribe, we've had a little bit of a standoff, I guess you could say, with Twitch, trying to figure out what we were gonna do monetization wise, and Spirit told me to let it go. It's not something that I need to be concerned about. What's meant to be mine cannot pass me, right? So yeah, we multi-stream. I'm not going to stop multi-streaming. I'm not going to stop multi-streaming on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. I'm going to do it all at the same time. I'm a rule breaker, guys. I'm an Aries. But it definitely means that Twitch does not have to pay us. And I'm okay with that because honestly, I'm here again for energy exchange. And YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch are definitely beautiful platforms that allow me to advertise my own business. So that's what we're doing here. So yes, guys, I do want to mention really quickly Miss Al. I love you, Miss Al. She was actually the one, and several of you guys actually, but Miss L pushed it. She's good about coming back at me with things and like, you need to do this thing. And then, a lot of times people forget and they tend to go on and Miss L will come back and be like, hey, did you do that thing? But Miss L talked to me about Patreon and a couple of you guys did. And I actually started my Patreon, guys. I have not like opened for business over there just yet. I couldn't figure out what to do with the tiers. So for those of you that are on Patreon, you know what I'm talking about. I finally figured it out. It came to me just really honestly this morning. But really it's the astrology. Like that's why it came to me. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Um, but what we're going to do for the tiers is I'm ready to start coaching. I'm ready to start doing classes. And I feel confident enough in my journey and what I've learned in my abilities at this point to start these classes. And I feel like I didn't start them sooner because, we were definitely working with some self doubt, right? So I do feel like all that's fixing to clear up, and we're really going to start to see where we're going. But again, we'll talk about that more in just a second. So for those of you that have been asking me about twin flame coaching or twin twin flame mentoring, or being able to have a one-on-one with me, or just being able to reach me on a personal level, through the messaging, email, whatever, however we do it. That's going to be the tiers. That's what we're going to do over on Patreon. So I'm super excited to announce that. I do plan on working with that this week. I have a lot going on. We went from stagnant, not moving energy to full on timeline jumping. Here you go. It's in your lap. Get to work. So here we are. I've actually also been working on the shorts. I can't wait to start those. I've been having so much fun. I'm on like number 7. I'm gonna start doing like a little shorts that we just throw out every once in a while, where we pick a card, like for example, the devil card, and we talk about how that card for the day can help you with self-care for that day. So yes, guys, that's what tarot originally was made for. So that's what we're going to use it for. All right. I do want to mention the dream journals really quickly, because I am going to bring it up in the astrology. Guys, the dream journals are always in the description box, the links to Amazon. I only sell them on Amazon or on there. I want to show you guys. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Miss Tina got me one. And it's called the Self-Guided Journal, and it's a weekly astrological one, which I thought was super cool. But same kind of concept, right? But yes, guys. So if you're having trouble, um, interpreting your dreams, this dream journal can definitely help you do that. Again, the links are going to be in the description box. Right now is really an important time for us to be journaling. Really important. All right, I almost forgot again, and I would feel so bad. Guys, we have to talk about the Mesmer Family Craft Store. I purchased Miss Tina this gift over the last week from someone that I got to work with personally a few years back. A beautiful young lady that I worked with at Prizer Point. Her and her family have since moved from Kentucky, and her family has grown and her business has grown. And she's on my Facebook. And I told her, I said, I just really love being able to have Facebook and see, even though, like we've moved apart, like how people do and continue to be successful in their life. And it's just amazing, right? So guys, if you are watching on YouTube, the Mesmer Family Craft link is going to be in my YouTube video. I'm actually going to post it in every single video. And now I'm actually going to show you a video of Miss Tina's cup. So again, I want to show it all week because I was so thankful. She jumped up, got this done for me. She shipped it for me at a very reasonable price, guys. I was super impressed. And then I got to actually see it this weekend when Miss Tina, when I went to visit Miss Tina at Hamfest, she showed it to me and I got to see it. So yes, guys, if you want to customize a gift, if you want to show a small business some support, this is going to be the one that I recommend this week for sure. Mesmer Family Crafts, guys. So yes, link for their page is going to be their Facebook page, guys, is going to be on my YouTube video. And also I have posted that video that you just watched with their Facebook page link on my Facebook page. So guys, check them out, send them some love, make sure you tell them you came from me, right? All right, guys, let's get started. I know it's so much, and I'm not even going to bother with the little video. Here we go. Ready? Okay, so let's see. We did all of the announcements. Oh, I talk about how I thought it was my birthday when I came home, because all the gifts were here. And it actually is our birthday, guys. On the end of September, beginning of October, is when I actually started Purple Luna Rose Tarot. I know we didn't actually get a video out until the end of October, but I had taken the name at that point and we had opened the Etsy shop. Actually, I don't think it was open, but we had taken the name in the Etsy shop. And we're starting to put our listings on there. I don't think we actually opened the Etsy shop until January. But yeah, October, end of September, beginning of October was our 2-year birthday for Purple Lunar Rose Tarot. So again, guys, everyone that sent stuff, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's get to it. The astrology report for October 23rd through October 29th. October 23rd starts Scorpio season. Happy birthday to all the Scorpios out there. There's a strong Scorpio following here. There's a purpose for that. My counterpart is Scorpio, and it's very strong influence on his chart. And then also, I have strong Scorpio all in my tribe. So you guys always hear me talking about Miss Tina being a Scorpio, right? And so she teaches me a lot about the Scorpios. But yes, guys, so many of you are going to have Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, or Venus. And that's again because you're in this collective tribe with me. So let's talk about Scorpio a little bit. I know this is the fire signs. Don't freak out on me. But we're just going to talk about Scorpio, just some basic facts. Let's see. Scorpio is fixed water sign, right? A fixed sign means that it's in between. So let's see. You have Libra and Sagittarius, and Scorpio's in the middle, right? It's fixed. It can't move, doesn't start, doesn't end. And then it's a water element, right? So here's what I want you to know about the Scorpio. So the water element makes Scorpio's role to permanently strengthen emotions and feelings, and this includes theirs and others. So I'm going to read it one more time. The water element makes Scorpio's role to permanently strengthen emotions and feelings, and this includes theirs and others. So Scorpios are always under a massive transformation, right? Every Scorpio I have came in contact with has definitely helped me permanently strengthen my emotions and my feelings. So for all the Scorpios in my life, thank you. All right, let's talk about strengths and weaknesses with Scorpio. So some other strengths include charming. Scorpios are very charming, right? Diana got to meet Miss Tina, right? So Diana, Miss Tina has a very affectionate type of energy. She can walk in the room. How do they say? She walks in the room and lights up the room with her smile, her energy, that type of stuff. Like that's definitely all the Scorpios I know. They're also very deeply emotional. But that's really more of a hidden aspect of Scorpio. They don't, that's more on the inside. On the outside, it's more positive. Very important for Scorpio to show positivity on the outside, right? They're very peaceful people, peacemakers. They don't want to be at war. They will if a Scorpio stings you, watch out. But they don't want to, right? Like that's not their goal. As in, like, for example, let's use Aries because I'm in Aries. I'm not picking on anybody, guys. I'm in Aries. It's everywhere in my chart. But like, for example, Aries burns everything down. Like you piss us off, and it's like I'll burn that bridge in a heartbeat, and then I'll figure out how to swim back later. You know what I mean? Like that's an Aries. So Scorpios are not like that at all. They're very like peacemaker. Let's try to keep the peace type of situation. And they're also very easygoing. Again, let's use Aries as an example. Aries not so easygoing. Aries a little bit of my way or the highway type of energy. And guys, I'm not picking on anyone. These are just all aspects. And some of these aspects and qualities can actually be positive. So for example, in my early years, in my early life, I had a lot of karmic relationships that were very unhealthy, very one-sided, very abusive in one way or another. And I didn't speak up for myself. It was not my way or the highway, right? And then later, that kind of came into my life, and I met my Scorpios, right? And I became stronger, and I became more confident in my abilities. And then what really was my way or the highway. And that's how I ended my 20-year karmic marriage, right? Again, thank you, Scorpios. But yeah, so some just because an aspect or a personality trait of a sign seems like it would be harsh or bad doesn't necessarily always mean that. Okay, let's talk about weaknesses now that I've kind of like laid a little foundation there, a little cushion. Scorpios are a little self-indulgent, right? It's definitely like what they want. So let me think of an example. Um, what's something self-indulgent? And Scorpios are very sexual, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. Let's see what else. Self-indulgent. It's like they just want to make sure they are um enjoying their things and times and moments, right? So that's really all. I'm just going to leave it there. Scorpios are also indecisive, right? Can be very indecisive. They have trouble choosing, and I just want to say they're indecisive and have trouble choosing for this very same reason that most of us do, and it really just has a lot to do, again, with the foundation and the self-confidence, right? Um, and Scorpios can be gullible, right? Like, Scorpios have a big heart. I feel like people see the scorpion, and they see the stinger, and they're like, "Oh, that thing is, treacherous. It's gonna get me. It's, whatever." And actually, that's not really the case. Does it have a hard outer shell? Absolutely. But inside, it's very, very soft, and it has a very, very big heart. So it's like Scorpio is very deep, very intense, very emotional type of sign, and it feels. I mean, Scorpios are all. I would say every single Scorpio that's following us in here is an empath, deep empath. You know what I mean? You feel there's different levels of empathy, guys, and you feel things. Scorpios definitely very strongly. So yeah, there's definitely some strengths and weaknesses with all signs, but I want to say um, there's going to be a reason that we are talking a little bit about the Scorpios. We are moving into Scorpio season, and again, happy birthday, Scorpios. But right now, um, this is something that is kind of impacting all signs, right? Because here we are talking, and it's the fire signs, and it's because we're having this Scorpio and new moon. I want to mention really quickly, I put my note in the wrong spot and it almost threw me off. Guys, the Venus star point, I know that that was yesterday, or no, it'll be on the 22nd. Remember, guys, this is the week of the 23rd through the 29th. So we're in that Venus star energy. And we talked about that a lot last week, guys. So if you missed the elements, they're all posted. Please go back and watch them. And I do recommend, of course, they have timestamps, but I do recommend watching the astrology and at least one of those so that you could hear when we talk about the Venus star point, especially if you're a divine feminine, especially if you're on the twin journey. Very, very important right now. All right, now let's talk about the Scorpio new moon so I can go on. All right, the Scorpio new moon is a solar eclipse, guys. So we are in eclipse season. And remember, eclipses are fast forwards or timeline jumps, right? And so the Scorpio new moon solar eclipse, remember back when we had the Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse back in, I think it was April. That thing was fierce, right? Super fierce. And it was a lunar eclipse. It's more about our emotions and going within and really having to pull away any stagnancy, any thing that wasn't like serving our greater good because we were being pushed and being aligned towards our purpose, right? So that moon, especially for our collective tribe, was pretty strong. So kind of think back on those months like March, April, May, what was happening around that time, and then what has come after that time, right? Because what has come after that time is the significance, is the timeline jump, is the big difference. Like many of us are not at the same jobs we were. Many of you, there's breakaways in relationships that have been going stagnant for a long, long time. In relationships, in with people, careers, places, homes, you know what I'm saying? Like all kinds of things. So all that's your timeline jump. So now you're here, right? Now it's kind of all happened. And now like the acceptance is here. However, we don't go that easily, right? Where some of us are experiencing some, I call them symptoms. I talked about it in the description of the video, the self symptoms. So some of us are experiencing some self doubt. I know that I am. I was struggling with where am I going? Where's this twin thing going? I'm definitely now in full blown separation, um, minimal, if any, communication. And when it first happened, because of all of you guys and your stories, I kind of knew why it was happening and what to expect. But I will say that I definitely suddenly got that frozen deer in the headlights. Oh my God, what am I supposed to do now? You know what I'm saying? Type of situation. Um, because I will say that my counterpart, I feel like, was very involved in kind of like my journey and like what I was doing with it. You know what I'm saying? And so I was all of a sudden like, okay, we're out here, we made the channel, we made the store, we made the business, we're selling merch, we're doing the things, but where are we headed? Like, where are we going? What now? Right. And everybody knows about separation, so that can't be like the thing, right? So what's the, like, what's the plan? And it literally like just came to me this morning. It was like I was watching my own reader, I was studying for today's astrology report, and it just opened up like a book. And so yeah, I was having a lot of self-doubt, self-destruction, self-sabotage, you know what I'm saying? All those self words where we're trying to go back to what we know. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's ugly, even if it's no longer there, it's like we just want to go back because again, that's all we know. So we timeline jumped and we've went through this experience, and now it's like we finally accept that it's here, but we have to keep talking ourselves out of self-sabotage, or we have to keep talking ourselves out of self-doubt. I just want you to know that you've been going through all of that out of fear. And it's literally fear that needed to be purged. It was like spirit had to show you one last time. You can do this. You are doing this. You're already in that new house. You're already at the new job. You've already taken the new position. You've already spoken your truth. You're already away from the karmic. You're already found your soulmate. You're already manifesting. You see what I'm saying? So it's already here. So what's happened is because that fear came up that last time, just to show us one last time, like, hey, you can really do this, that is going to go away now. That feeling of not knowing, where am I going next? How am I going to pay for this house? Who's going to hire me? That's done. Now you're going to move more towards confidence, more towards that energetic burst of confidence, right? It's like we had to have this one last little purge. And guys, in order to feel something, like if you ever ask yourself, like, why am I doing this again? In order to fully release something and fully do something, you have to feel it. You have to bring it back up. There's my honey. Oh, I love him so much. I promise, guys. I mean, I feel like Junior is here every day to prove that it gets better, it gets easier. It doesn't always continue to suck, but if you continue to sit in the stagnancy, like the old energy, the past, then yeah, nothing really moves very quickly, right? But we didn't do that. I feel like collectively our tribe has definitely jumped, and we've taken the leap of faith, right? This moon, this Scorpio new moon, is here as a reward to us. I don't feel like it's going to affect everyone the same way. So you may hear people talk about the Scorpio new moon, solar eclipse in different ways. But guys, for us collectively on this spiritual path that we are on, this solar eclipse is lighting up the path for us, as the lunar eclipse made us go within and tear away all of those old stagnant energies that we were clinging onto for dear life. And the solar eclipse is showing us our reward. It's lighting the path. You no longer have to be fear of where are we going. Now we know where we're going, right? I will say this, guys. There's so much stuff that comes in the fine detail, and that's why I wanted to have everyone's stuff out. One of the first things that I learned about twins was that they're born in the same general location. It could be years apart because remember, there's usually a time, like an age gap, right? And that was one of the things. We were literally born like 20 miles apart or some weirdness, right? And we're both living in Kentucky, right? So like how odd. Again, guys, no such thing as a coincidence. And Miss L, I'm gonna call you when we get done with this live because I still am not. I keep talking, so I haven't went back to see what is Florida water. But anyway, it was one of the first things that I learned. It's like how I knew what was happening to me and what I was going to do, right? But fine details, guys, fine details. Both my ears just took off ringing, but that could mean somebody just came in here. But anyway, pay attention. Journal, 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 guys. Look, I just want to show you the guided dream journal. I keep showing you. I also have other journals that are just blank, and you can just put in there what you want. But the guided dream journal is also a daily diary. Like you can write in here every single day, put it by your bed. And I know some of you are like, I'm not dreaming. The funny thing is you are dreaming, you're just not remembering them. So you really have to set intentions to remember them. But I feel like what's happening more, again, here's a little bit more of a collective energy in our tribe, is we're waking up a lot, right? Like, how are you guys sleeping? Is the sleeping sucking? It is, isn't it? It's like we get so many hours sleep and then we wake up for so many hours and then we go back to sleep for so many hours, right? Okay, so the reason that that's happening is because you're getting all the information. You are dreaming, guys. In that first few hours that you're sleeping, and then literally right before you wake up, you're getting that information. You wake up, and that's the time to grab your journal. And let's say you don't remember dreaming. Okay, who cares? Write down anything, whatever's coming to your mind at the moment, because most likely that's the information that you just received in your dreams, right? Write it down, guys. I cannot express how important journaling is. I mean, I journal everything all the time. I cannot tell you guys how important. I have books and books and books of write it down. And what happens, you're like, well, why do I need to write it down? Am I ever going to use it again? Yes, you will. I promise you. This will be someone else's guidebook to what they're doing. Later, you'll go back and use it for your own guidebook. When I start the coaching, the twin flame coaching, and when we start our classes, I'm going to start some astrology classes on the Patreon too, where I teach you, like, you know how we're always doing the astrology report for today, and you're like, well, Rosa, how does that affect me? How does the Scorpio new moon going to affect me and my life on my journey today? Okay, I'm going to tell you. Are you guys ready? Big secrets coming out. You have a birth chart. You have a birth chart. Like, you have a screenshot of the universe when you were born, and you put that information in. They calculate, give you your birth chart, and you study that birth chart. And that birth chart is going to show you things that are in your own life, personal to you. And then you take the astrology that we have today, for example, the Scorpio new moon, and you apply that to your own birth chart. For example, what house is Scorpio? What Scorpio represent for you on your natal chart? You see what I'm saying? And that's what's going to be lit up for you with the solar eclipse. You see what I mean? So yes, guys, that's something that we're going to start on Patreon. And for everyone, Diana, Miss Al, Sandra, that mentioned it and encouraged me to do it, we're going. So thank you so very much. Let's see. Write it down. Write it down. I said. Mars retrograde, I do want to talk about really quickly Mars retrograde, because it's just super important. It's actually coming on the 30th, so it's following this week of October 23rd through the 29th. This Mars retrograde, guys, Mars is literally fixing to learn how to run backwards, and it's difficult. If you know, Mars rules Aries, also impacts Scorpio. So definitely, those two signs are go, go, go. And they're not necessarily about, sit down and do it someone else's way, right? So there's a little bit of, an energy with Mars going retrograde where Mars is having to learn how to run backwards. And it's like, what? There's this push of going, and then you have to stop. You have to come backwards so you can reflect a little bit, so you can see where it is that you're headed, right? I do feel like that's kind of what happened to me this morning. Remember, guys, I always feel this stuff early. You're going to always feel it early too. If you're drawn to me, you most likely feel it early. But do remember that some people feel these energies early. Some people feel it when it's it's happening, and some people feel it even after it's already happened. So yeah, so there's definitely a little bit of an energy. It's like a span of time where these energies are available and open to everyone. All right, I think that's it, guys. That is so much. We're like at an hour in. That's the longest opening I have ever had. Are you guys ready for some tarot? You can apply it to yourself after being out and around people's. What? Florida water is for cleansing cards. Use it on your hands and then shuffle the deck. I'm opening it up myself. See, I was going to save it, but now, like, I want to use it. All right. So, my honeys is home. Right when we get ready to get started. Can we delete them? Which? Can we delete which? Mary the Aries. She says, I'm ready, lady. Stop talking. I understand. Oh, the retrogrades. Duh. I get it. I had to look up. Jasmine on Facebook. Oh, Miss Al, I'm so grateful for you. I came home and seen them packages and cried because, that's what I do. Hey, I just want you guys to know, though, I got through Sandra's stuff and I didn't cry. And that's really important to me because we just talked about that last week. How's the saying go? You've healed if you can tell your story without crying. And I always say that like I get further and further in my story, but I still cry. So yeah, that was pretty impressed that I was able to go through the twin flame definition by Elizabeth Gilbert and not get sappy. Tori on Facebook. Hello. All right, guys. So this is how we're going to do it. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. We're going to use the angel and ancestors because we're probably going to be using them forever. I just want y'all to know. They definitely reached out and touched me. And I can't put them down. I took them with me. They, in fact, were the only cards that I took with me this weekend when I went for a Hamfest. This was my bracelet. This is what I came out from Hamfest, guys. The bracelets that I was looking for that I wanted to get everyone for Christmas, the booth I was planning on going to, they forgot them. I feel like they didn't even know what I was talking about. I was like, I seen them on your Facebook page. I was so excited because, I wanted to get them for everyone for Christmas, and I had a list, and I got there and they didn't have them there. They had other ones were just as beautiful, but they weren't the ones that I, had plans on getting. And so they weren't going to necessarily work. The ones I wanted, like it showed the Scorpio or whatever sign, you know what I mean? It showed it inside this little like round stone. And then it actually said like whatever sign. So Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn, whichever one, it said it inside. And I just thought that was super cool. And what an awesome present that would be, right? And the ones they had were like the crystals for the birthstone, or for the sign, which is just as cool, right? But it wasn't what they didn't say anything, and it wasn't what I expected. So yeah, I was kind of a little bummed. But the food definitely made up for it, guys. The food at Hamfest is always amazing. So if you ever get out in that little part of the world, yeah, I would definitely recommend going to Hamfest for sure. We had a good time. We took the kids and the grandkids and all the stuff, and yeah, everybody had a really good time. All right, timestamps. Ready? Here we go. I think I'm ready for Aries. I'm actually a little bit nervous, which is weird. 48:18 because I waited for it. I like those 8s, Aries. All right, Aries, for October 23rd through October 29th. So I did talk about the astrology at the beginning of the video, Aries. There is so much. I definitely recommend watching that portion of the video. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into your reading. And again, we're going to use the angels and ancestors for the main spread and the main energy of the week, just like we did. Did we do it last week, or did we do it for the air signs only, huh? I think it was just the air signs. All right. So Aries, we're looking at your energy. No, I'm not. I'm looking at something that could be a challenge or an obstacle for the week of October 23rd through the 29th. Who, you're not going to believe this, Sandra. And the snake card comes out, Aries, and it says shed old skin. I was watching another twin flame reader this morning, trying to catch up because I totally took a break this weekend, a 3-day break. But anyway, she actually told a personal story where she almost had a snake bite her this weekend. She was doing a reading and working with someone, and a snake comes out. And she talks about all the different representations of snakes. The Kundalini, of course, was one that stuck out to me. So again, if you're in my collective tribe, and I just want to say, some of you are teachers in this tribe. It's not just me, guys. It's like you teach me, right? So some of you are already a little bit ahead of me, and some of you are a little bit behind me, right? But we're all very collectively on this boat, and we definitely support and encourage and help each other. But the snake does represent the Kundalini, and if you're on this, boat with us, the Kundalini is coming up a lot. You guys will notice when there's something that I find to be either difficult or embarrassing or challenging in some way, because I sweep it under the rug, right? I tend to procrastinate. I tend to not get to it, right? There was like one particular astrological event that happened, Aries. This was about a month or two back, I would say. And I wouldn't mention it. I did. Oh, I know. Mars retrograde. Remember, Mars retrograde was coming, and I didn't mention it. Didn't even want to talk about it. And then at the last minute, I was like, okay, here it is. Let's talk about it. And then I had like the worst Mars retrograde ever. So let's talk about the Kundalini. Right. So for most of you, again, in this spiritual weekend, you understand that it's a process of awakening your I don't want to say it's definitely related to your creativity. Let's just leave it there for now. I feel like that's a whole other show, right? But to me, the snake is definitely about transformation and shedding old skin. And so I love that. And I don't know why it's always been that way for me. I think it's just because I've always seen old snake skins. Right before I got these cards, my oldest son, there's a lot of them, 3 of them, guys, 3 boys. But my oldest son sent me a picture of a snake skin that they had found in my old shed because they moved into my old house. And so I was like, wow, that's a really big one. And then Sandra actually also showed me a picture. So we're probably, most of us, kind of seeing some snake skins is what I would say is most likely what you're seeing. You could actually be seeing snakes, but it's definitely about a transformation. And here's the thing I'm going to say. It's going to be based on your fear level, how challenging this is for you, Aries. So remember, we're looking at something that could be challenging or causing you an obstacle this week, October 23rd through the 29th. So the snake comes out, and the snake tells me that you're going through a massive transformation and you have to shed that old skin. So the shedding of the old skin could definitely be difficult for you. I feel like I'm finally doing it, so most likely you're doing it also. So here's where the fear is going to come into play, right? Because I'm scared of snakes, guys. I'm not a fan. Like, I'm not gonna go buy one of those glass boxes and put a snake in it. You know what I'm saying? And people see, like Miss Tina, I know she's terrified of snakes, and I know, like when we worked at Prizer, she would always call me, and wherever I was at in the park, she would call me. I love this card, but she would call and say, like, I need you to come get this snake. There's a snake up there, and we had at the marina, we had this tool, that you use. Oh, beautiful, Aries. And we had this tool that you use to get rid of, to get the snake picked up without harming it and throw it back in the lake. And I didn't mind doing it. I knew that they were super terrified. And when I'm scared at something, I want to go at it, right? Some things. But yeah, so I definitely kind of feel like we're uh, feeling fears of most likely being brought up like self-doubt, again for the same reason that we're dealing with the selves, right? The purging. So again, you could be dealing with Aries, these are going to be old fears, like fears that you've already went over. Again, it's kind of just to get the last bit of confirmation that yes, you can do this, but it's really based on how scared of snakes are you. And so if I'm talking to an Aries that is like completely terrified, then whatever transformation you're going through is completely terrifying, right? If I'm going through an Aries that, yeah, I don't like him, I'm not gonna, go buy a little box and put them in and look at them in my home. I know people do. I'm not knocking it. Hey, to each their own, okay? But yeah, like I'm just saying, I don't think it's like detrimental fear, but there's definitely fear for me. And I do feel like it had a lot to do with where am I going? And we've all went through these changes, these big, massive changes, these big timeline jumps, and fast forwards. And then we're like, okay, all the stuff that I wanted is here now, but what am I supposed to do with it, right? So lesson learned, you got the Earth Guardian. So Aries is saying stay rooted and grounded. I'm having to do that a lot. And I'm going to mention really quickly, Aries, why I feel like I should have talked about this in the astrology. Why I think I'm having to ground myself a lot. And what I say by ground myself, well, I guess Junior got a pretty good practice about grounding this weekend, but that's the whole story for a whole other show. But anyway, um, grounding is where you plant yourself, right? For me, some of the best ways to ground myself is just to take my shoes off and run outside, let my feet, like my skin, actual skin, not socks, skin, like hit the dirt, hit the ground. Also, let's say I'm in here, I'm working, I can't go just take my shoes off and run. Actually, I can because I run my own business, and who's going to say anything to me? But you know what I mean? Like, it's very powerful when you have your own stuff. I'm just saying, guys. But anyway, and there is times where I'm busy and I just don't want to, right? I can't just go out there and do it. I will definitely imagine the roots. Everybody talks about this. I'm sure you guys have heard it before. You picture those roots coming like tree roots from the bottoms of your feet and going down to the center of the earth, coming back up and attaching to your feet. And it definitely gives you that grounded and centered feeling. Here's why I think this is happening, guys. I think that the reason collectively, all of us, again, I should have talked about this in the beginning, are kind of going through this timeline jump and this fast forward is because we're merging our 5D with our 3D. Have you guys heard anyone else talk about that? I've heard other twin readers talk about it. And that's really what's happening. And it's really pretty big step in our particular journey, right? So I'm not going to get into like what 5D and 3D is. I feel like if you're on the journey and you're following me, you hear me, but we're definitely merging those. It's like we're done with this woo-woo stuff, and it's like we're bringing all this stuff we've learned down here to this ground, to this solid earth down here, and we're making it so down here. You see what I mean? So there's definitely been an energy of where I feel like I'm getting a lot of information, definitely coming from the 5D, and I have to ground myself so that I can root myself, so I can bring those things here. And then the oracle card is going to come out as your outcome. It says wait for important information. So I do feel like Aries, you got a little bit of a run. You want to get started, and we went through that, the slow energy through Pisces season back in March and April when we were dealing with that Scorpio solar or lunar eclipse. And that was a super moon, guys, too. I keep forgetting that was a super moon. I mean, that's massive. Hi, Jenna. So yeah, really, powerful moon there. And we went through this slow period of figuring out what to do. We didn't like it, or we weren't on the timeline that we could manifest the things we wanted. So we jumped, right? And as we did this, and all these things are coming in, we get this rush of energy, and we get this rush of information, and we get this rush of plans. Like I said, like this morning, it was just like all laid out to me. Like, here's your business plan. You've been stressing about this for 6 months, and I was going to give it to you, but I needed you to wait till today. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, so I feel like that's kind of what we've all kind of been going through. Again, Aries, I have a lot of Aries, Aries, Sun, Mars. I mean, it just keeps going. It's just very impactful. The red is sticking out to me too. But what I'm getting to is we're fixing to have Mars retrograde at the end of this week. We're talking about, which is funny because it's your last card, and their Mars retrograde starts. And at the beginning of the video, I talked about how Mars retrograde is where Mars is going to learn how to run backwards. And I don't know if you've ever ran backwards, Aries, but it's not easy. It definitely takes some skill, but I do feel like that's what's kind of happening. And the reason that happens, the reason Mars is going back, is because it definitely needs you to reflect. Is this the one? Is this the right road? Is this the one you want to be on? Is this where we're going? You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is if you decide, no, this still isn't it, you can't go back, Aries. It's not going to happen, but you can continue to jump and fast forward. It does make things more challenging, but it is a possibility. So I want to throw that out there. I don't believe collectively that's what we're going to do. I definitely feel very calm where I'm at. And again, Spirit has given me multiple confirmations that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. So I feel like you're also going to be seeing those confirmations. The Sky Father comes out as your energy of the week. I love it, Aries. Look at that. Clearly the eagle sticks out to me. Trust in the unknown. So that's super interesting. I would say this is going to have something to do with leadership. I feel like me personally, Aries, is I'm being led. It's like I can see my business plan. I'm ready to put it on paper. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like I can see the outline of the situation. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. And I feel like that's going to happen to you, Aries, this week. And that's going to give you that freedom, right? That's going to give you that soaring feeling. But remember, Mars retrograde is coming, and Mars retrograde is going to ask you, are you sure? So the Star Ancestor card came out. How beautiful are these cards, guys? It says, follow the voice of your soul. That's me. That's what I'm doing here. It's pretty cool, right? All right, let's clarify a little bit. And I am just going to pull one for each so we can move along a little bit quicker, guys. I know they can get lengthy. We have so many cosmic influences that definitely impact us so strongly. So it's so important. That's why I always make a big deal about saying it at the beginning of the video, in hopes that you grab your calendar, put it in your phone, see it that morning so you know when it's coming, right? All right, let's look at that Sky Father energy. What is it that you're gaining this freedom from? What is it that's soaring for Aries? So 2 cards came out. Leo Strength card and the 3 of Swords came out. Love it. I love the infinity on top of the Strength card there. So what I'm getting here is definitely healing from heartbreak, but it made you stronger, right? It's like definitely taking the alchemizing. This is definitely alchemy here, and I feel like that's why you're getting this energy. That's why you're getting everything laid out for you, is what I'm getting. And again, Aries, remember, it's going to be in the fine details, so make sure that you're writing things down. All right, let's look at the snake in your challenges or obstacle. We have the 9 of Pentacles here, and we have the 2 of Wands. You made the right choice, Aries. All right, so the 9 of Pentacles is definitely going to be about independence and confidence, right? And the 9 of Pentacles says you've built everything up to where you're supposed to be, and the 2 of Wands is about decisions. Remember, guys, I always say the 2 of Wands, for me personally, in my own personal journey, in my own twin journey, the 2 of Wands was always about expectations. And you can't really have expectations in the twin journey. You just can't. I mean, once you understand like what it is and what's happening, it's ridiculous to have expectations. But unfortunately, because we're human, well, we're ridiculous humans and we have expectations. So the Two of Wands for me for the longest time was about normally, in the Rider Waite, the cards everyone's real familiar with. The Two of Wands is like he has the world and he's handing it to one side, but there's this other wand over here. So it's like you had another option. You're just waiting for this one option. And it's like he expects this one side to come in before the other side comes in. And I always felt like the other wand just comes in and smacks him in the back of the head, like, hey, you're too busy looking over there. And this is what you're supposed to be doing over here. And for me personally, in my own journey, that's what it was. I was too focused on the person and the 3D and all that nonsense. I didn't even realize that this was all some other whole thing. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what I get. I feel like you definitely made a choice. You chose the Nine of Pentacles, and your worth, right? But you also release the expectation. I feel like that's definitely what's saying there. With the Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. Remember, this is lesson learned. So this is what's going to help you shed that skin. This is going to help you release that final bit of fear, Aries. It can't get any better than that. Look at that, guys. The High Priestess comes out. If you know me, the High Priestess is clearly my new favorite. I've definitely been learning and studying on the High Priestess. I've then went back all the way back to like the Egyptians, guys. It's definitely when we start those classes, there's going to be so much information. But the High Priestess coming out here for being rooted or grounded. Remember, the High Priestess sits at the veil. And remember, that's what she means. She's got her foot on the moon, and she sits at the veil of, she sits between the 5D and the 3D, right? It's like she's over there. She has the information from over there and the information from over here. It's like she has all of, um, it's abundance, but it's abundance of knowledge, right? That's the High Priestess. And so use what you know. Like what I'm getting, Aries, is like use the knowledge you've gained, use the lessons you've learned, start to implement those things. And that's what's going to move you further ahead. Three of Wands is here further ahead for sure. Three of Wands, remember, is about your brighter future. And remember, guys, I always say with the Three of Wands, wands are action. It means you actually have to take a step. You actually have to do something. I would definitely say this could actually also be about finding your own roots. I know for me, I'm again an Aries, and I know personally Miss L is going to know what I'm talking about. I feel like most of you will really. I've been running from the records, right? I've been not doing the past life reading, and I definitely kind of pick up a little bit of energy of maybe now that I'm further in my journey, I may not have been ready before, right? And maybe now that I'm a little bit further in my journey, I would have a deeper understanding or a better understanding, and maybe it wouldn't be as fearful for me now, right? All right, let's look at the Oracle card. Wait for important information. Again, I do feel like you're getting a little bit in this Zen space at the end of the week. I do feel like you have a little bit of Mars retrograde energy coming in, Aries, where, yes, their plan is laid out, but now Spirit's going to give you time to, for some of you, this could be about taking a break. For some of you, this could be about just taking more time. I know for me personally, I'm going to be working on my Patreon, right? I'm going to be working on those coaching tiers. I'm going to be working on setting up those classes and whatnot. So definitely extra time to be able to start to put those things into place so that we can implement them further down the line. We have the Eight of Swords here. I love it. And the Nine of Wands. So the Eight of Swords talks about self-restriction. You see the binds on the Eight of Swords. It's usually the one with the woman tied. But it always says that the feet were not bound. So you actually were not ever restricted. Whatever restriction you had, you were actually doing to yourself. And the Nine of Wands tells me, Aries, I could be talking to an Aries that built those walls. And I don't mean like walls to protect themselves. I don't mean like healthy boundaries. I mean like walls to, it's almost like defending. It's almost like um, closing off, right? It's like you built walls that no one could climb over. And that was going to be the restriction. That's what you're breaking free from. It's like you're opening yourself up. So it tells me that you're opening yourself up to this journey. You're opening yourself up to source, to the information that's coming in. And that's really where we're supposed to be, right? As all this new stuff starts to come in. On the bottom, Aries, I mean, I love it. Again, you can't make it up, and it's always so perfect. The Emperor comes on the bottom. Aries, the Emperor is definitely about stepping up to the plate. It's definitely about leadership. And of course, it represents Aries. All right, let's do some guidance for Aries. I'm going to use the Divine Feminine Oracle that Sandra gifted me because, guys, we have the Venus Star Point energy. And remember, we talked about that last week, Aries. So Venus Star Point is where Venus is aligning to the sun. And when this happens, it definitely helps you put all that feminine energy into yourself. It helps you do it without like feeling bad about it. It's like you understand that you can't pour from an empty cup. And since you have loved ones around you that you want to be able to take care of, you're going to do so. You're going to pour into that cup so that you have more to offer them. So definitely in our divine feminine energies. So let's see what guidance we can get for Aries with this situation. So I'm not going to be able to say some of these names properly, but I'm going to try. I think this one is Inanna, the Queen of Heaven and Earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. Is that not the High Priestess? Wow. All right, let's keep going. Yomaja. I'm not going to say these right. Yomaha. That might be like a H sound. The goddess of all that flows. I love it. I'm an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. That's exactly what you're doing, Aries. And then the last one, the Green Terra. That's so interesting. I cannot believe this card came out. And I looked at these, Sandra, to, like I went through them and did my little thing. I actually listened to, there's the musical, the Green Terra, the mantra, like where they, the there's one that this is the Green Terror one I listen to all the time. When I was going through my dark night of the soul, it was constantly, that's not true. When I was going through the end of my dark night of the soul, I had it constantly playing. So yes, guys, make sure what you're taking in. That's so important. And I really didn't realize how important it was until later. Like, I feel like I made my journey a little bit harder than it needed to be, because I was taking in a lot of things that I didn't need to be taking in. If songs make you sad, don't listen to them. If movies show you things that your moral compass doesn't align to, don't watch them. What I'm trying to say? Like, don't put things in your environment that are harmful to you and then be upset that things are sucking and, I'm saying, you're not feeling so great. You know what I mean? So the music that we listen to is super, super important. On the bottom, Saraswati, the goddess of self-knowledge. The essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. Love it. All right, Aries, let's close it out with the famous Moonology Oracle. I started using these when I very first started my channel. And we still close them out today. New cards or not, I will always pull out the Moonology Oracle. These have been helping me with my thoughts and emotions since day one, Aries. So these are going to help you with thoughts and emotions for this week. I do feel like you're very much in your thoughts. I'm not sensing a lot of heavy emotion. I'm sensing a lot of tired, ready to get going, ready to do the things. And now we have Mars retrograde coming in. And it's like, wait, I got the information. I get to run. And now you want me to slow down. All right, let's see. Nothing will come of the situation, the void of course moon. In other words, don't overthink right now. And the spirit gives you time to rest, Aries. Make sure you take that time to rest. A win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. In other words, I'm getting like you don't need to push. You don't need to overexert yourself. This is definitely already coming in. You've already done the work, Aries. And look at the bigger picture, which I just want to say is also what the Nine of Wands means. Step away and look at it from a different perspective. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. I just want to say Mars retrograde, guys. Remember, we talked about it a whole bunch. Is in Gemini. Mars up there kicking butt for the twins, definitely. All right, Aries, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that reading was helpful. If it was, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all those good things. It definitely helps my channel's engagement, definitely helps us grow on all the platforms. I see several new Twitch people coming in. That is so awesome. Aries. All right. So guys, I do offer free readings. Remember, we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And free readings will come after the signs. So we just finished Aries and we have Leo and Sagittarius next. Sandra says, loved the reading. I'm so glad. Thank you, Sandra. I love them cards. All right, guys, so I'm just cleaning up Aries. And we will timestamp Leo next. King of Wands is trying to come out. I wonder if that's for Aries or Leo. Could definitely be either. All right, Leo, let's timestamp 114:48 for Leo. So, Leo, this is going to be for the week of October 23rd through October 29th. Definitely talked about the astrology at the beginning of the video. I do recommend watching it, Leo. There is a lot of information that could definitely impact your week. We're going to use the Ancestors and Angels Oracle for our main energy and the main spread. So let's start, Leo. Challenge or obstacle? Challenge or obstacle for Leo. So we have this summer. Bask in joy and light. So here in the US, Leo, we're moving into winter months. So we have people watching us from all over the world, right? Like I just got done talking about the lady. I just did her reading in the Etsy shop from Malaysia. YouTube has a little thing that shows us like where everybody's watching from. I think Facebook does too. I'm not too sure about Twitch just yet, but yeah, this definitely could be a Leo that's not necessarily here in the US. It could have if you are a Leo in the US, this could have an issue. Like the issue could be something to do that happened in the summer months, definitely. And that could be like the challenge or obstacle that you're dealing with. Now, of course, the bee is sticking out to me. Pollination came to me when I seen the bee just now. So that's super interesting. You know how the bee goes around, pollinates all the different flowers, makes them grow. So that's kind of interesting. I feel like that could have something to do with it. But let's keep going, Leo. Let's look at lesson learned. So we have the Spirit Fox coming out, and it says, trust your talents in changing times. This is one of my favorite cards, Leo, because we are definitely collectively going through this timeline jump. And I do feel like we've gathered enough tools that we're implementing them, and that's why the universe has allowed us to timeline jump, right? But it's like once we jump over to the timeline that's more beneficial, the one that's going to be able, that you're going to be able to manifest the things easier and quicker. It's like you get there and then suddenly you don't trust your own abilities. Like you don't trust your own abilities to manifest. So there definitely could be a little bit of a pause. I feel like Spirit's saying you've learned these abilities. That's why it's in lesson learned. Be confident in the things you've learned because you're going to need them and you're going to use them. All right, let's look at the outcome for Leo. So we have Stargazer coming out. It says, set your sights higher. So you're trying to do something, you're trying to make something. I feel like, again, it's something about seeing the bigger picture, right? On the bottom is going to be your energy of the week. And you have the Druid. It says, hold the space. Interesting. All right, Leo, let's clarify a little bit. So your energy of the week says you're holding space for something or someone. I think for many of you Leos, this could be about both, right? The someone is the something, or the something is the someone. Let's start there, Leo. What are you holding space for? What are you holding space for, Leo? So we have the Four of Cups. So it's definitely union. So I'm going to be talking to most likely someone who has that spiritual counterpart. Someone who, I don't know why I said Four of Cups was union, but I definitely seen union right away. So Four of Cups is normally the card that says you're ignoring something or not paying attention. And I feel like everyone's paying attention because I definitely got an energy of coming together. With the Four of Cups, I got like the Four of Wands energy, like it's a firm foundation type of situation, but it is definitely the Cups. I'm not sensing that you're blocking anything. It's very possible, Leo, that you're dealing with someone who did block, but you held space. All right, let's look at the Summer card, the challenge or obstacles. Definitely about pollination. This could have something to do too. I know it's not the Spring card, the planting seeds, but I'm kind of getting that also. It's like something about having to plant seeds and then do the work. King of Pentacles is coming out. King of Pentacles is all about doing the work. And then the Seven of Swords is coming out. So there is definitely an issue here about, so Seven of Swords to me, it's always an issue of disbelief. Like you don't believe something is going to happen or you don't see it happening. King of Pentacles is definitely about stepping up to the plate, that he's the protector and the provider, right? I want to see too, Seven of Swords can also be, Leo, about keeping something secret. So it's very possible that maybe like you're spreading something and that's the challenge or obstacle. And it's like about your ability to lead or step up to the plate in some way, and you're just not telling anyone about what you're doing, right? So I could be talking to a Leo who started their own business, and it's kind of like what I was saying, where we take these small steps and start these different like the Patreon, a different stream of income, right? And we add it to what we're already doing. I'm kind of getting that for some Leo out there, and you could be keeping that to yourself. It could be a challenge or obstacle, though, because it's very possible I'm talking to a Leo out there who has someone around them who's going to be more earth sign, so more like Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, who doesn't believe in them. That could definitely be an issue. And then the Spirit Fox is Spirit saying, like, it doesn't matter what other people say or what other people believe, Leo. It's what you believe. It's all about what you manifest and what your intention is. And if you believe what other people think or what they say, well, then that's what you're going to manifest. The Devil comes out for a strong confirmation. Thank you, Spirit. And the Queen of Cups. So again, Queen of Cups is my clue card for Divine Feminine, but it's about unconditional love, right? It's also about pouring into your own cup. And we talked about that a little bit. Like you have to pour into your own cup so that you can help other people. If you're depleted, Leo, then you're not really able to give someone else something that they need. And I know that upsets people, and it gets like, people will say that whole, I don't know, it just steps on toes, and I get that, but it's just true. I mean, I can't turn it around any other way. It's definitely a situation where it could even become toxic because you're pouring from an empty cup, right? If you really cared about the person, and I don't want to say if you really cared, because you do care, Leo. I'm not saying you don't. It's not if you care. It's not like that. I'm just saying you could love even more, Leo. You could give even more if your own cup is full. There, that's a much better way of saying it, right? Stargazer, set your sights higher. We have the star coming out. That's not a coincidence at all. And the Three of Swords. So there's definitely an issue here. I'm supposed to be picking one card. I picked two. Interesting. And I definitely have seen union over here. I feel like I'm talking to a Leo who most likely was on the spiritual twin journey, right? Most likely there was separation. Most likely the counterpart had blocked or locked out, ignored, something like that. And you started doing your own thing. And it's like Leo maybe didn't have a lot of faith in themselves. Maybe their counterpart didn't have faith in them. Maybe they didn't have the backup and support that I feel like I had in my journey. So that's kind of interesting. But it's also possible too that could be like self-doubt. The Seven of Swords could definitely say self-doubt, that you doubted yourself that you were going to be able to do this. But the Devil and the Queen of Cups definitely tells me that there was an energy here of having an empty cup, like not being able to fill your own cup, not believing in your own abilities, not believing how big your abilities are, Leo, because that's definitely what the Star and the Three of Swords is showing me. The Star is about definitely Aquarius energy here, but it's also and Capricorn energy strongly. But the Star says that it's like a clean slate. It's hope for the future. But you see, I always see like snowballs. It's like things start snowballing in, right? It's like you heal something quickly with this Three of Swords. I just want to say, most likely, I'm talking to another twin who's gonna do something very similar to like what I'm doing. All right, let's pull some guidance. So tapping into that Venus energy. Remember, guys, everyone has divine masculine and divine feminine. And the divine feminine energy definitely taking over right now just because of this particular astrological event. So really a time to pay attention to that feminine energy. So we have Lalita, the red goddess. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. I love it. We have Mirabai, the saint of true freedom. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. That's going to be really specific for somebody out there, whoever I was just talking to. Love is what sets me free. I'm married to my own soul. And last one, we have Mary Magdalene. And we all know that one, right? The apostle to the apostles. I'm the bridge between heaven and earth. I'm fully human and fully divine. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, let's close it out for Leo. With the Moonology Oracle. And remember, Leo, this is going to help with your thoughts and emotions. Leo, I do feel like you're a little bit more emotional than Aries, I would say. Definitely lost in thought. I would definitely recommend watching the beginning of the video. In the astrology, we did talk about like business plans being laid out for us. And I feel like that's definitely something to do with your energy. Your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. Step into your comfort zone. North node. And balance spirituality and practicality. It's the full moon in Pisces. Yes, Leo, I definitely recommend watching the astrology at the beginning of the video. The answers you need are coming. A full moon in Gemini. It's the same one that was on the bottom of the deck for Aries. All right, Leo, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that reading was helpful. If it was, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all those good things. I'm going to clean up really quickly, guys, and we will jump to Sagittarius. I feel like I missed something. I'm always missing stuff. Well, soulmates don't really break our hearts. So cleaning up. Have mercy. We have Aries and Leo done. I know, right? I looked over and caught a piece of it. I was like, what? And I shouldn't say that, soulmate wouldn't break our hearts. And they'll try real hard not to. All right, you guys ready for Sagittarius? Oh, I got you. Now that's possible. Yeah, Sandra. That's very possible. All right, let's timestamp Sagittarius. We're almost done, guys. 127. Let's wait for it. 128 even for Sagittarius. This is going to be for October 23rd through October 29th. Sagittarius, we did talk about the astrology at the beginning. I do recommend watching that portion of the video. I am using the angels and ancestors, my left ear. My left ear just started ringing, Miss L. Angels and ancestors we're going to use for the energy of the week and the main spread, but we're going to start Sagittarius with your challenge or obstacle. It's just something that's been calling to me since I opened the cards to pull out the challenge or obstacle first. So that's just how I've been doing it. And then we pull your energy of the week from the bottom of the deck. So Star Ancestor came out. Follow your voice of your soul. Follow the voice of your soul, Sagittarius. All right, let's look at lesson learned. I feel like I heard you say you can't hear. You're having trouble hearing your soul or the voice of your soul. It's you're having trouble with seeing the path is what it is, but we'll keep going. Lesson learned, we have Medicine Mother. Honor your inner knowing. Love it. And then outcome for Sagittarius, we have the Wise One. Grow within your current situation. So definitely dealing with something new here, Sagittarius. And on the bottom, we're going to have your energy of the week. And you have the Hunter card. Track down your fears and desires. Again, the astrology is coming to me for Sagittarius. Shaman is on the bottom. Trust in higher forces. So definitely getting some assistance this week, Sagittarius. All right, let's start at the beginning. Star Ancestors, I do feel like you're getting some information. Sagittarius, I want to mention really quickly at the beginning of the video, I talked about sleep patterns, and right now people sleeping and waking up, sleeping, waking up. Like you're only getting a few hours sleep, then you wake up for a few hours, you're only getting a few more hours sleep, then you have to get up and go to work or whatever it is. You're getting information in those few hours, Sagittarius, and I do feel like you're having difficulty remembering them. And I would say to whenever you wake up to journal, even if you don't remember having dreams, I would just journal anything at that point, because you could definitely put some of the information that you're receiving down on paper. But I do feel like it's like you feel some sort of disconnect. It's like you feel like maybe your ancestors aren't showing you or aren't telling you. And again, I would point you to the astrology at the beginning of the video because it's not necessarily the case. It's just kind of like the timeline jumping. It's like we jump, but it's possible that when we jump over something that we're trying to manifest that was not possible at all in this timeline is possible in this one, but it's a little bit further down. It's like a spirit has to get things together before you get down there in order for it to be ready by the time you get down there. And that's kind of what I'm picking up here. Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. Again, this is about your own intuition. Sagittarius, when we first started the channel, Miss L is with us. She's the first one that pointed out to me. She said, have you seen how many Sagittarius are coming in here? Like we had this mass influx of Sagittarius. And for the longest time, I called Sagittarius. Every time I started, I would say my new psychic friends. I can't say that anymore because you guys aren't new anymore. but you're still highly psychic. So there's definitely here something, this is lesson learned. So this is what's going to help you with the situation here. And there's definitely, it's like you don't know the plan. And that's why you're kind of having like an issue of where do I go? And here it's like spirit saying you have a knowing. It may not, like somebody didn't hand you a plan wrote out. It's not step by step in a book on a piece of paper, but it's like you have some sort of inner knowing of what you're supposed to be doing. Again, you're going to probably be able to trace that back to your ancestors. Again, someone in your family, grandparents, great grandparents, wherever it was, maybe generations and generations back. But it's like someone, and it just would keep going down the line. It doesn't like just disappear, right? Was most likely very highly intuitive and very in touch with their intuition, because we're all intuitive, but not everyone is in touch with their intuition. Like they don't listen to it or hear it sometimes. And then for the outcome, Sagittarius, you have the wise one, grow within your current situation. So again, I feel like you're learning something that you may need a little bit further down the road. And that may be like why things aren't coming in as quickly as you would like. I feel like for some of you Sagittarius, this is about your purpose. It's like you've been listening to me and watching me, and you're like, I want to follow my purpose. Rosa gets to follow her purpose, and Miss L's following her purpose, and Sandra's going to follow her. Like, I want to follow my purpose. I kind of hear that, right? I get it. But again, I'm going to say that if something hasn't been shown to you at this point, it's because it's definitely being worked on a little bit further down your path so that it'll be ready when you get there. But the Hunter card is here for your energy of the week. So that's giving me a lot of information in itself. It says track down your fears and desires. When I looked at the definition to this card, it's one of the first cards that I got myself. It talked about how you really have to go down out there and hunt down those fears, like hunt them down and just kill them and remove them. I know that all sounds super ugly and bloody and gory, but that's what you have to do. If you can't let your fear beat you, you have to go and hunt it down and take it down, right? And I feel like too, it's very possible that you could be more focused on what you fear, and you may not necessarily be really focused on what you actually desire. Guys, when you're trying to manifest, Sagittarius, you have to be very specific. Like I can manifest and say, I want my channel to grow. Okay, well, what does that mean? Maybe we get one subscriber a year, a month, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 years, like we don't know. You have to be very, very specific when you're manifesting if you want whatever it is to come in a very specific way, right? All right, so let's clarify. Let's see if I missed anything for Sagittarius. Let's look at the Hunter card. Track down your fears and desires. So we have the Queen of Wands. Absolutely. Just be confident in yourself, Sagittarius. The Queen of Wands is definitely about confidence all day, every day. The Magician is here. Not only be confident in yourself, wow, Sagittarius, be confident in your powers to be able to manifest. In other words, this tells me you're manifesting all the time. You just may not really be noticing what you're manifesting, or you may like manifest and it doesn't come in at that moment. It comes in further down the line, and by the time you get down there, maybe you don't remember that you asked for that thing. Sagittarius, make sure you're journaling, make sure you're writing everything down. The star ancestors, follow the voice of your inner soul. We have the Hierophant, very much about spirituality, and the Two of Pentacles. I feel like the Two of Pentacles here is a little bit of more of choose. I know it's normally like stretch or being pulled, but I'm getting choose. The Hierophant, it's like you may have, and remember, we talked about ancestors here, and it's very possible that it's the opposite of what I said earlier, where I said you may have someone in your family that does this thing. You may have someone in your family that really shunned this type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like really turned it down and was like, hey, we're I don't know, whatever religion. I don't want to say one because then everybody will be freaking out, you know what I'm saying? But like, let's say they were a certain religion and they just, their mom and their parents and their parents, and it just been going, going, going. And then you decided you were going to take a different spiritual route, and they're like, oh, what? You know what I'm saying? Definitely could have a little bit of something to do with that. Honor your own inner knowing tells me that you do have a very strong inner knowing, and you do need to be confident in that intuition. Again, the Four of Cups coming out. Don't ignore something. Make sure that you're paying attention to the fine print. And the King of Swords, make sure you're paying attention again to the fine print, right? King of Swords, but also people's words, like what they're saying to you. And then the wise one comes out. It says grow within your current situation. So Page of Wands is here. That's your current situation, right, Sagittarius? Your spiritual awakening, this new part in your spiritual awakening, because again, you've timeline jumped. And Seven of Cups is here. It's you giving yourself new options, new choices. Be very cautious as you're trying to choose this next path. Again, look at read the fine print, look at the fine detail, all that kind of stuff. On the bottom is Eight of Swords. If you do feel like there is a self-restriction, or if you're being restricted by something, it's something you're doing to yourself, Sagittarius. All right. Let's pull some guidance here for Sagittarius. What is Sagittarius to do with this information? Ooh. I feel like that's just too many and I just can't shuffle. Let's try again. All right, so we're asking Spirit for guidance. Divine feminine energy guidance at that for Sagittarius with this situation. So we have Isis comes out, the goddess of magic. Sexual energy is sacred. My pleasure is a prayer that brings me back to life. The Black Madonna, Our Lady of the Hermit. I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. That's what happened to Sagittarius. I'm not going to be able to say that at all, but it's a High Priestess. I love it. In Hudana. The High Priestess. I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. I love these cards. Have mercy. Mirabai on the bottom again. I feel like this was on the bottom for Aries. The Saint of True Freedom. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. Definitely some twin cards if I ever seen any before, right? Shriek the Creator. From Japan. How awesome is that? All right, Sagittarius, we're going to close it out with the Moonology Oracle. This is going to help with your thoughts and emotions. I do feel like, again, a little more emotional, I would say, than Leo. And then Aries, I would say, no, let's do emotional-wise. I'm going to say Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. That's probably the rate it's going to go. Luck is on your side. It's the new moon in Sagittarius. I love it. The energy is gaining momentum, the waxing moon, and work through your fears. Look, this is not a coincidence, guys. Sagittarius, track down your fears and desires. Work through your fears. Look at that. New moon in Scorpio. Guys, that's the new moon we have, October 25th. On the bottom, surrender to the divine. It's the full moon. And that is what you're doing, Sagittarius. You are definitely surrendering, releasing those reins of control, understanding you're on this spiritual journey and ready to start following your purpose and your mission. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that was helpful. If it was, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all those very good things. And that's it, guys. That's going to be the fire signs for October 23rd through October 29th. What do you think? Not too bad, right? The fire signs. Mars has a lot of say in the fire signs. I feel like, especially Aries, and Mars retrograde getting ready to happen is definitely an energy that I felt throughout all of the readings for sure. So yeah, Mars fixing to learn how to run backwards in that retrograde. But I just want to say, I feel like Mars is one badass, and I feel like it's totally going to get done. Been up there in Gemini, kicking butt and taking names for a minute now. So yeah, I feel like it's going to do just fine. It's going to be one of those retrogrades where we get to revisit and we get more confidence in where it is that we're headed, right? In Japan, we use Chinese zodiac signs. Nice. Look, we were just talking about my reading with the one lady in Malaysia. Now we have Shriek, the creator, in here from Japan. That's so interesting that you say that. So says I almost know nothing about zodiac signs that the West uses. I am originally when I learned the astrology, of course, Western astrology, that is the easy. If you guys want to learn astrology, if you're new to astrology, I definitely recommend the Western way of to learn astrology because it makes it a little bit simpler, breaks it down a little easier, I thought, for me. But I'm definitely starting to dive into Vedic astrology. And it's a lot easier for me to pick up now. Like when I first started, I would look at that stuff and I was like, what? But now that I have a more, a little bit of a grounded idea of what I'm doing with this universal information, it's a little bit easy to pick up the other side now, is what I want to say. All right. So, guys, it's that time. Free readings, guys. Free readings. I do like to offer them at the end of the live stream. So let me know if anyone has a question, if you just want to get some guidance, if you want me to pull a card from ancestors and angels, let me know. Now is the time. I want to show everyone the new schedule really quickly, guys. This is our first day of the week. And we're doing fire signs. We just did Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Guys, don't forget, I will put the timestamps in immediately following the live stream. So yes, every Monday at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I am in Illinois in the US, guys. So Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn will do tomorrow every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time on Wednesday, every Wednesday. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius every Thursday, 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Guys, these are 100% free readings. Come in, join us live. I like to offer free readings at the end. Awesome, Rachel. Rachel breaks the ice. So that is when I will stream again. I will stream again at 2 p.m. tomorrow when we do Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. All right, Rachel. Rachel is with us today on Facebook. Rachel has a new song out, guys. So if you haven't followed her YouTube channel or checked out her Facebook, I think it's just YouTube. Do you have a Facebook page, Rachel? It is that your Facebook page. You should let me know. But yes, guys, she sent me I got to see a little sneak peek of her new song. Beautiful, as always, of course. So many of us in here. Remember when you guys first came in here? Do you remember where we were? So many of us doing the things, making the big moves. All right, I dropped it, Rachel, but I picked it up, and you'll never guess. You'll never guess which card you got, Rachel. All right, so Rachel has a very famous guardian angel, comes to visit me pretty often. But the guardian angel card comes out, Rachel, and it says, "You are not alone." All right, so we already know. Strongly guarded, strongly protected. Stargazer, set your sights higher. I feel like that's definitely a message from your person, Rachel. And let's pull a little past, present, future real quick, Rachel. I want to see, why is the guardian angel here? Is it just a reminder? Let's do a little past, present, future. So 7 of Cups, you recently had some choices, could have been in some confusion with those choices, not sure which one to pick. 6 of Wands is here in the present, so it says you are victorious. Somebody could have noticed you recently. White sticks out to me. Do you see the white unicorn? It's something about purification. The snow sticking out to me too. And Page of Wands is coming out. So definitely a little bit further enhancement in the spiritual journey. So like your person could be leading you through this spiritual path that somehow gets you more awakened, more enlightened and more noticed, like people see you. So that's interesting, because that's when you start to share the information about your own path and your own journey, right? Nine of Swords is on the bottom, Rachel. I feel like you have a little bit of insecurity about it, like maybe you're staying up at night, not sleeping well, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. Am I doing the right thing? You could be having a little bit of self-doubt right now. Rachel, I would say to you, make sure keep that journal right next to your book. And if you wake up in the middle of the night, write anything. It doesn't matter. Anything. I don't care. Write, I don't know, your next song, right? Just write down whatever you want to write down, because I feel like once you start putting words to paper, the information you're getting in your sleep that your person could be trying to send to you clearly, to show you what's coming and to show you like where you're headed, I feel like could be beneficial to you. All right, I do want to pull really quickly a Divine Feminine card for Rachel. Definitely a Divine Feminine on her own journey. Yishi Sogal. Lady of the Lotus Born. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. Definitely sensing more of like a rising, right? Oh, look at Rachel says she's been remembering her dreams. I love it. That's so cool. So cool, guys. If you have trouble remembering your dreams, guys, just set those intentions. Make it a focus, a priority. Once you start paying attention to those dreams, they will start coming in quicker and quicker. You will start remembering them more and more. And definitely could be very beneficial. Oh, thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much. Absolutely. All right. So I'm not going to be able to say that. So we'll just pull you up. JVL says, hello. Can I do a tarot question, please? What is your tarot question? Ooh, can you write your answer on chat? I don't understand so much English. Honey, are you awake? Is the honey is awake? He's asleep. Poor guy, though. He's so tired. All right. Oh, much suspicion about her. Look at the dates, guys. Look at the dates in the question. How interesting, right? But doesn't understand much English. Wants me to write it in the comments. I don't think I can write it in the comments. Yeah, I can. I could pull one card. I would totally love to do an energy check, though, right? Like do both sides and see what's going on. Let's pull one. We'll do one card. It'll tell us. Actually, let's go to the Divine Feminine. All right. Let me see. So clearly wanting to know what is the connection. I know it says, does May of 88 like December of 97? But it's definitely like, what is the connection? What is the feeling? What is the purpose? Lakshmi comes out. Lakshmi, that's so interesting. This card comes out. My mom's name was Shama. And she actually changed her name to Shama. It has something to do. The meaning was the attraction, the moth to the flame. And she changed her name. But she had a friend named Lakshmi. And when I was little, I couldn't say her name. And I called her lunch meat. Swear to goodness. True story, guys. But I was like 7. Leave me alone. The goddess of abundance. I choose to feel abundant. Wealth is an inside job. The here, let's do inside job. Inside job. Hold on, guys. So I can write it in the thing. And that's about as good as I can put it. All right. All right, guys. Thank you, Miss Al. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm going to wrap it up too. Thank you to all the new people that came in. Guys, make sure if you're new, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check that notifications to all so that you get notified when we come live. We do go live 4 times a week. I do want to show you a special live really quickly that we're going to do later this week. We're going to do a pick a card. So we haven't done these in a while. Diana pointed it out, wanted me to do another one. So I definitely created one that I thought we could do. Some signs from the other side. We're going to use the Talking to Heaven cards and the ancestors and angels together. So I'm really excited to do that. And it'll just be where you pick which one and then it's sticking out to you the most. And then, of course, you could pick one or more, all of them. And we will do that pick a card live. I have not set that, guys. Most likely we will do that Friday night. But I just wanted to give everyone a little heads up. I think that's it, guys. I will see all of you guys tomorrow when we do the Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn at 2 p.m. Thank you, everyone who came in. Oh, I'm glad. I'm so excited too, Diana. Thank you, Sandra and Diana and Jenna and Miss L and just everyone who comes in, Rachel, and supports me every single day, all the time. I appreciate all of you so very much. Thank you to all the new people that came in. Remember, guys, hit that subscribe and follow and join button and join us and do this again tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Have a good afternoon. And as always, I'm always sending you abundant love and light on your journey. Thank you.